just going to talk briefly about the solutions. Of course, the first one, as a parent, if you're watching this video as a parent and maybe your child is going through some form of depression or disassociation, or they've just had this character change and they're no longer as lively as they used to be, it's maybe something you could look into, especially if there's a certain person that maybe you keep your child with or comes to watch your child, and anytime that person leaves or if they hear of that person coming, they just start feeling scared or they just keep telling you they don't like this person.
Plant cameras in your home.
Exactly.
Everywhere.
So that is a solution. Plant cameras in your home because it helps you see what is not going on, because you may say, okay, the child is just acting out, they're just lying and all of that. So get proof, put a camera there.
And biological parents, because actually biological parents are sometimes the abusers. Biological parents should be very present in their children's lives, because these things are caused when dad is absent and now there's a stepdad, or mom is absent and now there's a stepmom that's doing whatever they want with your kids.
Or even the single parent, like a single parent, let's say you had the child that, it wasn't planned, and let's say the father is absent and whatnot, and you start keeping the child with different relatives.
Trust your children with no one.
With different relatives, because you have to work, and it's just a way of you finding a balance and all of that.
You just can't find although it happens everywhere, but I think it's safer when you're in a more controlled environment, like a school or a controlled after school game or something like that. Put your children in extracurricular activities. Have them always around you when even when you're, I don't know, I think it's actually tricky. Be close with your children. Even if you're divorced, make sure that the dad and the mom are both of you are present. But
and the child is not just being tossed around to just anybody because you're busy. Because
even foster homes, those things happen.
I mean, I feel like that's a whole other topic, because with the foster care, there's so much that goes on in the system.
A solution is you should be, close to your children. Don't trust anyone with your children, except it's their own, father or mother, or somebody that you can swear with your life for. Well,
I mean, like we said,
trust no one. Trust no one.
Trust no
You know something? If you're a teenager and you're a young child being abused or depressed, whether male or female, you can send us a private message on our Instagram, and we'll direct you to, institutions that, cater to young people, children, adolescents who are being abused. Yeah, we're going to drop that actually. We're going to put a number.
And reporting to police authorities, there's a likelihood they might take the child from the parents, and put them in foster care.
Yeah, but that's the right thing. Well,
but if it's a case where, the parent was just, it was a kind of a mistake and they're willing to rectify the situation, maybe the negligence or whatnot.
Oh, I thought you meant the abuser.
No, I'm saying taking the child from the parent. Let's say, the parent is trying to solve the situation. Let's say when you have told your parents and they've done nothing about it, then you can report to the police and tell them. Because
sometimes parents do the bare minimum. They just, okay, stop going there.
Yeah, so if you're reported to them,
tell the police.
Even your principal, your what they called? Is it the counselor?
Your school counselor,
therapist. Even the school nurse, if you trust her, or
your principal.
If you trust the pastor.
If you go to the doctor, if you go to the doctor's office.
Yes, tell the doctor. Anyone who you feel you could trust that moment, and it's not the abuser. Obviously, you can't.
Even though it's hard to trust, but you just have to tell someone outside of the people
so
that you have told.
So that you can get out of that situation as soon as possible, because the abuser is banking on your silence. They want you to be silent so they can continue the abuse.
Yeah.
They want to push you to be silent. So don't be silent. You need to tell someone as soon as possible. Someone you could trust, be it police, principal, pastor, just anyone you can trust.
And then for the abusers, even though yes, it's true, it's very disgusting, very heartless, very wicked what these abusers are doing. I think, there's a saying that says, hurt people. Yeah, there might be a history behind this abuse, and maybe they were also someone that was sexually, physically abused, and they also are lashing out and taking out that, you know, craziness on other people. But some people are just, you know, bad in front of
Some people
it.
actually target children because they feel like they're vulnerable, and
It
those
is
children,
so.
they can easily manipulate them, they can easily threaten them, and they will be silent.
Yeah.
You know, because even in the case of the boy that was being abused from 5 to 14, it was actually when he was 14.
I think it was like till 16.
It was when he was 14 that he started becoming more aware of it and started fighting back. That's when the abuser kind of took
And
a
when he
step
was
back,
even saying
you
this
know?
story, he was like in his 50s and he was still crying.
Yeah, so there's a long-term pain that comes with this abuse. That's why you honestly, parents, you have to do better if your child is being abused, because they
It's your
carry
family.
this
Let me
burden
tell you,
for a lifetime.
You guys, sometimes it's your family that do you dirty the most. This family, I am telling you, they're the ones that could do you the most dirt. But that aside, there should be rehabilitation for abusers, not just sending them to jail.
They should be in jail and also be getting rehabilitation inside jail.
Yeah, there should be institutions and rehabilitation centers for abusers. I know that those things exist. But they're not as, you know, they're not as popular as the jail system, because once we just hear of abusers, they just want to punish them, which is also fine because, you know,
they should be punished because they do know what they're doing, you know.
You know, when someone goes through jail or rehabilitation, there should be a change. So there should be rehabilitation for the abusers. There should be programs to retrain their mind. Now, if you are just an abuser for the fun of being abused,
for the fact that you just like taking advantage of children, I mean, I don't know,
you don't need rehabilitation. You just go to prison.
You're going through, or what, you need to be sent to jail. And you, well, if you want to change your ways, fine, you get the necessary help. But some people are just bad in general. They just get a kick off hurting other people.
Just so, like, seriously. Yeah, if also abusers, you know, like I told you in our last video, a lot of things we're going to be saying will be coming from a Christian point of view. So if you don't want to hear it, sit back and still listen. Because
there's something you can. There's always something you can get from the video. It is always something
even if
you
you're
can
not
learn.
Christian, you know. Yeah, if you're an abuser, also find a community, a church community. Like if that's something you want to change, if that's something that's bothering you, if it's like a habit, you know, because some abusers, they are addicted to other things, like pornography, like drugs, you know, like alcohol.
Masturbation.
So you also need to draw closer to God. If you're someone that's looking to change that in yourself, you also need to draw closer to God. Find a church community, a good church community, okay? A good pastor. Be active in those areas.
Yes, and
I'm
also
telling
get therapy.
your life is good.
Rehabilitation.
With church, get therapy, rehabilitation. Go to places that will offer you help. Because let me tell you, if rapture should happen and you are still an abuser, tell them where they're going, please.
Hell.
That's
true. You're going to hell because you don't think you can put out evil and bad things into the world, and then you will just ultimately go to a sweet place. No, you hurt people.
Yeah,
you did something bad.
Exactly, and you can use your own story to, you know, motivate other people that are abusers, that they can rise up from that nonsense and, you know, have a life of
beautiful thing
honor.
About Jesus is that no matter who you are, be it an abuser, a murderer,
anyone,
you can always be saved. Okay, it's never too late for you. It's when you continue in those ways that honestly, even something bad will happen to you.
I'm telling you, if you keep being an abuser, the consequence when it finally dawns on you, you are going to know that you are suffering for the pain and suffering you have caused to others. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Okay, so just a quick advice, and this is for people who are just having sex. You're not abused, but you're just getting the feel of having sex or engaging in sex, and you're between the ages of 11 to 19, and you're in high school or almost finishing high school and you're being sexually active. So there are disadvantages to that. So the first thing we want to address are STDs. You know, you already know what STDs are. Well, if you don't know, they're sexually transmitted diseases like HIV, gonorrhea, syphilis, you know, those are just a few. So if you are just having sex randomly with different people and you just started at an early age, I know people that started at age 11, 12 having sex, and I think that's crazy because when I was 11, at 11, 12, I was still watching cartoons. Honestly, I was still watching cartoons, but people in this generation, well, I'm still part of the generation, are having sex really early. So STDs, that's one consequence. And some of these STDs can stay with you for a lifetime. And sex is just like a 2-3 minute act. You don't want to have a lifetime of STD because of a 2-3 minute act. It's not worth it.
There are even some STDs that lead to you losing your womb.
Yes, because it could cause internal infections and all of that.
And first of all, especially ladies, right? When young women are having sex, or women in general, if you don't want to get pregnant, you go on birth control pills. And birth control pills have their own effect on your body.
Exactly.
Like the guy doesn't take anything, but you, if you don't want to get pregnant, you should not miss your pills. You should be, taking these pills. You're always, conscious about, okay, is it that time of the month? Just like,
you're even anxious if you don't see your period for the next month. You're just very anxious. Oh, are you pregnant? Are you not pregnant?
Yeah. And then another thing is that if you're that young, like you're a teenager, or most likely you'll be dating guys that are also younger, like teenagers or in their 20s, or you might not even be dating the right person at all, and then
you'll just be sleeping around.
Yeah, some of you, by the time you tell your boyfriend that, oh, because of we had sex, now I'm pregnant, they run, they dip.
Yeah, so that's another one. Unwanted pregnancy.
Yeah, it's not even unwanted. Some ladies, some girls have pregnancy because they get pregnant because they think it's gonna make them closer to this guy.
Yeah, or tie them down.
Yeah, we're gonna have a cute little family.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, like, okay, let's say he's the type of person that doesn't even want to stick around for the pregnancy, and then you have the child. You're a single mother or single. I mean,
you become a single mom. Your kid doesn't
mother.
Have a father.
And then it could lead to that sexual abuse because somebody else will come into the child's life and all of that.
And because the one of the parents is absent, they're gonna come into the child's life and just destroy it. So stop being selfish. Stop sleeping around.
We always hear about this pro-choice and
what?
All of that.
You don't have.
I don't
let me
get
tell you
it.
something. You do not have the right to take a life because you want to enjoy sex, or being.
Or you don't want to bear the
consequences.
Yes.
So you keep taking a life.
A case, where you were raped or anything. I'm talking about people who are just having sex. They know they're having sex for fun or whatever.
There was a lady that has had 14 abortions for one person, even if it was different, but 14. So.
I mean, that's 14 of your children. Your children.
Your first kid should have been 14 to 13.
Exactly.
14 abortions, and then you want to get married to a wonderful man and sit down with your womb scattered about.
And a lot of the cases, when they now finally get married, they find it hard conceiving a child.
Exactly.
And it could be as a result of you having those multiple abortions, because you don't think that, okay, you just have abortions and then one day you just wake up with one.
And let me say something. Taking birth control pills is another way of stopping the natural process that your body accepts.
Your period, menstrual cycle, and all of that.
It's stopping your body from going through the natural process of conceiving and all of this. So there are consequences, especially for women, because they're the ones that carry the womb. You can be pro-choice all you want. You can be feminist.
I don't understand this whole concept of it's just a fetus. I mean, you were once a fetus and you're here now. So as long as the moment they told you you're pregnant and that child is conceived, that is a living being.
Yeah, you cannot do what you want.
Yeah, and you can't sugarcoat it and say it's a fetus. No.
Yeah, a lot of people that do abortions, I've heard stories that they cannot sleep at night because they feel so much guilt, so much shame. Let me tell you, when you do something that is bad, there are consequences. No matter how you know, there's shame attached to it, guilt attached to it, abandonment by this person, this man, or that you feel like you trusted, and all of that.
Yeah.
So, well, low self-esteem, like, you know, if the person you're involved with, you know, if they're not a good person, or you knew they were not a good person, but you kept on going with them, and then they, you know, break your heart or cheat on you, then you feel like you're not good enough, you're depressed, you're sad, you thought they were your forever happy, you're happy ever after.
Yeah.
And then
sometimes you could be sleeping with different girls, and none of them seem to stick with you. You might think, oh, something is wrong with you, are you not good enough, and all of that. And then it's just because you're having sex with different people. You know, if you wait for the right person to come along, I'm telling you, you won't even, you regret sleeping with all these unwanted people.
I've spoken to ladies that said, you know, the first person they lost their virginity to, they regretted it because it was a waste of their time. They didn't even enjoy it. It was the wrong person. Looking back, if they could, you know, take it back. Well, yeah. So if you haven't, if you're one of those people that are just playing around right now and just enjoying sex for the fun of it, let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. Thank you all for listening to Praise and Joy. Yes, thank you all so much. Remember to share, subscribe, and, you know, we'll do our best to bring out other interesting topics that we can talk about.
Yes, and also comment as well. Comment, send us a direct message.
Remember to send us a DM on Instagram. If you want to, if you're suffering in silence, if you're being abused, remember to send us a message.
We'll
and we'll do our best to
our Instagram pages below.
Yes.
Don't forget.
Thank you all.
Thank you guys.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
See you guys in our next video.
Bye.